New OpenAI Codex update is insane. You are wasting hours doing work that AI could do in minutes. Not because you are lazy, because you have been using AI wrong. One agent, one task, one result at a time. That is not how the best developers are working anymore. OpenAI just released something that makes one AI feel like a full team. Hey, I am Ava. I am an AI educator, and I help people learn AI tools and actually put them to work. If you are new here, welcome. This channel is all about practical AI. No fluff, no hype, just what actually works. Today, I want to break down one of the biggest updates OpenAI has shipped for Codex. We are talking about sub-agents, a way to turn a single AI into an entire coordinated team. I'm going to explain what it is, how it works, and why it matters for anyone using AI to build or automate workflows. What is OpenAI Codex? Before we get into sub-agents, let me quickly catch you up on what Codex actually is, because this is not the old Codex from 2021. The original Codex was a code completion tool. It powered GitHub Copilot. Impressive for its time, but it could only generate text. It could not run code. It could not fix bugs by itself. It could not navigate a full code base. The new Codex that OpenAI launched in 2025 is a completely different product. It is a cloud-based AI software engineering agent. You give it a task, it spins up its own isolated environment in the cloud, loads your GitHub repository, and works independently. It writes features, fixes bugs, runs tests, and proposes pull requests. OpenAI says Codex 1 was trained using reinforcement learning on real-world coding tasks so that it generates code that closely mirrors human style and PR preferences. Since launching in April 2025, it has been available to ChatGPT Plus, Pro, Business, Enterprise, and Edu users, and it has grown fast. OpenAI reported GPT 5.2 usage for Codex was 20 times higher than August 2025 levels. That is the foundation. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The problem sub-agents. Solve every AI model has a context window. Think of it like short-term memory. The bigger and more complex your codebase, the faster that window fills up. When it fills up, the AI starts losing track of earlier information. It forgets things. It makes mistakes. This is called context pollution, and it is one of the biggest practical problems with using AI on real software projects. If you ask one agent to handle security, code quality, bug detection, race conditions, test coverage, and maintainability all at once, it is going to struggle. Too much information. One context window. That is exactly the problem sub-agents solve. How sub-agents work? Here is the official explanation straight from OpenAI's developer docs. Codex can run sub-agent workflows by spawning specialized agents in parallel and then collecting their results in one response. This is particularly helpful for complex tasks that are highly parallel, such as codebase exploration or implementing a multi-step feature plan. So instead of one AI doing everything, you have one main orchestrator that manages a team of specialized sub-agents. Each sub-agent gets its own task and its own clean context window. They run at the same time. Results come back to the main agent. The main agent pulls it all together. The official docs give a perfect example. Say you want to review a pull request. You ask Codex to spawn one agent per review point and summarize each result. One agent checks security, one checks code quality, one looks for bugs, one looks for race conditions, one checks test coverage, one checks maintainability, all running in parallel, all reporting back in one consolidated summary. That is a completely different level of thoroughness than asking one agent to do all of that in sequence. Custom agents and skills. Here is where it gets really useful for building workflows. You can define your own custom agents. Each custom agent is set up in a config file. You choose the model, the reasoning effort, the instructions, the tool access, even the sandbox permissions. You can have a React specialist agent, a database migration agent, a dedicated code review agent, each one pre-configured and ready to call whenever you need it. On top of that, there is a skills system. A skill packages instructions, resources, and optional scripts, so Codex can follow a specific workflow reliably. You can use community-built skills or write your own and share them across your team. This is starting to look less like a tool and more like a development team you configure and manage. When I first started using Codex, I was overwhelmed. Subagents, custom configs, skills, CLI flags, context management. It is a lot to figure out on your own. That is when I found this community called AI Profit Boardroom, with over 2,000 members all focused on learning AI together and sharing what actually works. It taught me which workflows save time versus which ones waste it. The community shares real use cases and practical implementations. If you are serious about using AI to improve your work and skills, check it out. Link in description. The Codex app and CLI. On February 2nd, 2026, OpenAI launched the Codex app for macOS. On March 4th, 2026, they made it available on Windows 2. It is a full interface built to manage multiple agents at once, run work in parallel, and handle long-running tasks. OpenAI describes it as a command center for agents. You supervise coordinated teams across the full life cycle of designing, building, shipping, and maintaining software. At launch, OpenAI doubled rate limits for Plus, Pro, Business, Enterprise, and Edu plans and temporarily included Codex access on free and Go plans. Alongside the app, there is the open-source Codex CLI. It runs directly in your terminal and is actively maintained, with changelog updates as recently as March 2026. There's also an IDE extension so you can run sub-agent workflows right inside your code editor. Full sub-agent visibility in the IDE extension is still coming according to the docs. For most tasks in Codex, GPT-5.4 is the flagship. It combines strong coding, reasoning, native computer use, and broader professional workflows. For sub-agents doing lighter work, there is GPT-5.4 Mini. It runs more than 2 times faster and uses 30% of the token limits that GPT-5.4 does, meaning comparable tasks last about 3 times longer before hitting usage caps. OpenAI recommends using it for codebase exploration, large file review, and processing supporting documents. Use GPT-5.4 for planning, coordination, and final judgment. Use GPT-5.4 Mini for the supporting sub-agent work. Match the model to the task, and your usage goes a lot further. Real-world use cases. Let me make this concrete with what OpenAI has documented. Codebase exploration. Sub-agents fan out across different parts of a large codebase in parallel rather than scanning it one piece at a time. Multi-step feature plans. Codex breaks the plan into parallel tasks, assigns each to a sub-agent, and returns consolidated results. Pull request reviews, the exact example from the official docs. 1 agent per review point, security, quality, bugs, race conditions, test coverage, maintainability, all at once. Long, complex refactors. OpenAI has documented GPT-5 Codex working independently for more than 7 hours on large, complex tasks, iterating and fixing test failures until it delivers a working result. OpenAI engineers use it internally to offload repetitive work like refactoring, renaming, and writing tests. They also use it for scaffolding features, wiring components, fixing bugs, and drafting documentation. You can also run Codex as an MCP server and connect it to other agents built with the OpenAI Agents SDK. This lets you build fully orchestrated multi-agent pipelines. The official documentation walks through an example with a project manager agent that writes requirements and coordinates handoffs across a designer, front-end developer, server developer, and tester. Each agent handles its scoped work before passing control back to the project manager. Every prompt, tool call, and handoff is automatically traced in OpenAI's Traces dashboard, so you can audit exactly what happened at every step. Not just automation. Fully reviewable, accountable automation. What this means. We are in a real transition from using AI as a tool you prompt to using AI as a team you manage. Codex is one of the clearest examples of that shift. The sub-agent architecture directly solves context pollution, which is one of the main reasons AI fails on complex tasks. OpenAI is building a whole ecosystem around this. The app, the CLI, the IDE extension, custom agent configs, the skills system, SDK integration, it is not perfect yet. Sub-agent visibility in the IDE is still coming. Nesting defaults to 1 level deep to prevent runaway token usage. Real limits still exist. But the direction is clear, and understanding how this system works now puts you ahead of most people still treating AI like a smarter autocomplete. If you are looking to dive deeper into AI tools and actually implement them in your work, I recommend AI Profit Boardroom. Over 2,000 people learning how to use AI effectively. Everyone shares real experiences. What is working, what is not. Which tools are worth your time? Which ones to skip? No hype? Just solid information and practical guidance from people doing the work. It has helped me stay on top of updates and figure out how to actually apply them. Link in description if you want to check it out. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and over 100 AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You will get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 58,000 members who are crushing it with AI. If this video helped you, hit subscribe. A lot more coming on how to use AI agents in real workflows. See you in the next one.